right, welcome back to Orange Peelers, one of the great rounds of all time on the weekends.
Was
eh?
it?
How you going?
Not really. Not for
I'd
me,
have it up
wasn't.
there.
Not for me, it wasn't.
Indigenous round? You don't like Indigenous rounds?
I do normally love it, but not this year. Not this year.
The rabbits let you down, didn't they?
Yeah, they
Elephant
did.
in the room. The rabbits have let you down.
Yeah.
But I guess let's get straight into it. We're not getting straight into the Rabbitohs. Let's start with the Panthers and Broncos.
What a good game it was.
I thought it was one of the better games of the week.
Yeah, it was. I was trying to concentrate on the second half, but I went live like on TikTok at the same time.
Yeah.
So, I was looking
It's
back
hard
and
to
forth.
watch.
But, yeah.
I was out.
It's a pretty
but
good
I was
game.
watching as much
it
as
went
I
as
could.
expected, though. Like, I expected Penrith to win by the margin they did. to be
Yeah,
honest.
hey.
But Broncos did well to stay in it.
And the margin also sort of reflected the game as well.
Yeah.
Which-
But Broncos
yeah.
did really well to stay in this
Their
game.
defense was
Yeah.
really, really good, I thought. I thought their defense was really good.
But just, they weren't good enough. They just weren't. Penrith looked really good, and they're starting to get back to their best.
Well, we both had Panthers 13 plus, and it was
We
nearly
did.
13 plus. I think it was 11.
Yeah.
And we both, you had Cobbo. So you got Cobbo's try,
Yeah.
and I'd cried and he didn't
I was
score.
backing a bunch of Indigenous boys to score.
Yeah,
That's nice.
that's right. Yeah. Yeah, I think even Panthers' defense as well, like their defense was insane.
Yeah, but they're always a good defensive team. They're
Yeah.
always hard to get around.
I think I'd read a stat that since the Tigers lost, they've only conceded like 14 points or something. That's hectic.
I know.
Like you normally concede 14 points a week.
Yeah.
Like their defense is on, and then their attack was good as well, I thought, but Broncos just kept
Yeah,
repelling
the
them.
game went exactly how I expected it to be honest.
There was a couple of dodgy calls again.
The Jerome Luai push.
Yeah.
Thinking it was a Broncos player.
Yeah,
Come
talk
on.
to me about that. What did you think of that?
I thought the punishment was fair enough, but obviously people want him suspended.
So you were, because I don't think he should
I
have been
was fine
suspended.
with the punishment. Like it's not like he went up and shoved the ref and got
It
in
was
his
an
face.
accident. You agree it was an accident?
No, similar to like what he did to Cobbo and Origin. He didn't
Yeah.
do that, but
Yeah.
you
Well,
don't
I
know.
thought, like
what,
it was a fine max, right? I would have been happy if he didn't even get fined, to be honest.
But did you see my video on it on TikTok?
I don't think I did.
Yeah, I was just saying, imagine if Victor Radley did that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the
Yeah.
newspaper the next day? It would be
Ooh,
front
yeah.
page, back page. It would be headline: Radley disgrace for the league, should be suspended.
Well, that's the thing.
Depends on which player it was.
You can
Like,
screw. They obviously the papers had like the screenshot of it, like just the photo. And if you look at just the photo with no context, it looks bad because
Yeah.
he's touching the ref.
Like,
but he
if-
accidentally walked into him.
if Radley, Pangai Jr., Latrell did that, it'd be
Yeah.
absolutely blown out.
Yeah, and they
just-
would have got suspended.
They
I
would
think.
have.
And I think Luai's getting close to that territory though as well.
Yeah,
in that fans hate him.
Yeah.
Like, he's so overhated. I reckon.
He's
so
You've said that a
overhated.
few times, and then with the video you
Yeah.
made, then the best man
At the
speech
World Cup,
comes.
yeah, that's right. I made a video defending him in the World Cup because I was like, he put some respect on his name. He's carried Samoa to the final, and 2 weeks later, the best man speech, and I was like, oh no, this is gonna age so bad. But yeah, I think everyone was hating on him a little bit. If you watch
Yeah.
it, he doesn't push the ref. He sort of leans up against the ref, thinking he's a Broncos player.
Yeah,
They're
does
an
he?
Indigenous kid. Is he supposed to study the Broncos jersey?
Yeah, but
And then he reaches out again and apologizes instantly.
Yeah, I
Instantly.
know.
And the ref laughed about it.
well, he looked pretty concerned at first.
At first
the
he
touch
did, but then
He's
he
like,
sort
"What
of
are you
laughed
doing?"
about it,
And
I
he's
think,
like, yeah.
post-apology.
Yeah.
So I've got no issue. And I think, it was a fine max. There was a couple of weird calls, I suppose. I don't really want to get deep in them, but
there was that one Broncos try.
there was, I think...
That was
there was the
completely
Walsh
ridiculous,
try.
yeah.
No.
Well, I don't think it was
the
Walsh,
no
was it?
try. The one where Walsh went up.
There's
Is that one you're talking about?
Yeah, I think that's the one I'm thinking
where
about.
the ref interfered with the video ref?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. So the bunker was going to give the try.
Yeah, I know.
And then the ref was like, no, that doesn't look right to me. And then they overruled it. And then there was the
So what's the
Scotty
point of the bunker
Sorensen
then?
no
If
try.
the ref's going to overrule it, why would they have a bunker?
Yeah, literally.
The bunker has...
Like-
we're not getting
It's
into
so
this. We're not
bad.
getting into this.
It's so bad. And then Taruva's double movement.
Oh, yeah,
that was a try. I thought that was double movement.
I didn't think it was.
You thought it was a
I don't know,
try?
I thought it was a try.
I think it was a 50-50
Yeah,
call.
it was 50-50, but
Yeah.
I would have given it a try.
Yeah, that's
personally.
fair enough. So you thought it was momentum?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you that it wasn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I personally thought probably no try, but 50-50 call. But
Yeah.
yeah, there were a few, I guess, dodgy calls in this game. But
Yeah.
maybe that's just Thursday night footy now.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just bad reffing every Thursday. Get it out of the way for the weekend.
Yeah, I know. But the next game,
You
this
wanna
was an interesting
talk
one.
about. I've got it down. Game of the week. You don't reckon?
No, I'm trying to think for
I've seen some people calling the Tigers game of the week.
Yeah,
I'd say this is better than. I reckon this was better than the Tigers game.
Well, you see, I wasn't paying too much attention to it. Like everyone in the borough was watching on their phones.
That's right, because you're at the footy.
Then,
true.
You know, Dragons scored. Everyone in the borough jumped up like Southland won. Like it was incredible. It was so funny. And you know, just everyone started chanting, "We ate the Roosters," and it was just, it was the best. But what an ending to that game.
What an ending. What an ending.
I know. And I tipped the Dragons as well. I tipped the Dragons.
You called it. Yeah. You called the Dragons. And they were up
They got lucky. They did get lucky.
They were up 12-18-0 at half time and then completely blew the lead. Tedesco scores with like 5 minutes left. So I was at work.
Oh, that Tedesco try.
Yeah. Well, I was at work delivery driving. And so I had it playing on my phone, like listening to it. And then like every delivery I did, because it was really busy, I was driving basically the whole time. So I was listening. I listened to like the whole second half and then watched bits and pieces, like in between deliveries and stuff. And so Tedesco scored the try and I literally tweeted out, Tedesco's just clutched the game and clinched his origin spot. And then just like that, Dragons came back and
there's a lot
scored and won the game.
Roosters fans are pointing out a lot from that last Dragons try that Sewell was offside.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I personally thought Sewell, he was offside, I think.
But I don't think he
didn't get involved in the play.
Exactly.
He was within 10,
Roosters
but he didn't
fans
get
are just
involved.
trying to find something to complain about.
And the rule, I don't know what the exact rule is, to be honest, because I've seen it go both ways. So I think it depends on circumstances. But yeah, he was within 10, but he didn't get involved. And so...
Exactly. And it was a lucky bounce from Moga as well. Bounced right at his knees, I know.
You love it when Sloan goes for the crossfield kick. Did you see Ben Hunt's reaction?
Yeah.
He went through the biggest roller coaster of emotions.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was so mad that he did the crossfield kick. And then they got just the perfect bounce.
Got lucky in the end with it.
And then what about the Roosters players not covering behind the post?
That just sums up the Roosters this year.
It does. Like Zach Lomax is literally the worst goal kicker this season. I think he's kicking below 50%.
Yeah.
Like statistically just this season. In the past he's been really good, but this season I think he changed his technique and he's been kicking bad. If they cover in behind the goalposts, I think he could miss that goal and it goes to golden point, but just nobody covered behind the post.
But the Roosters, is it getting bad for him now? Because I've seen a lot of Roosters fans pointing out very upset that Robbo in the press conference was talking as if they were like a bottom four side and they're not happy yet. Like he was saying, I'm happy in the improvements that we've shown.
Okay.
Like a bottom four coach speaks.
A bottom four coach. So that's what Cameron Serrato says every week.
And that's what the Roosters fans are very upset about, that he's talking like that.
Where are they coming? Because
they're 11th, I think. 11th or 12th.
Like it's the Roosters. They've got a thing about them where it's like, oh, they'll be right. But
I don't know.
We're now halfway through the season.
Yeah, they were out of the 8 for most of last year and scraped in at the end. That could happen. I hope it doesn't.
Yeah, so they're 11th on 12 points.
They're 4 and against is dreadful. 4 and against is horrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
They're bottom 3 for 4 and against.
Yeah. I know who is bottom, though.
Bulldogs, Cowboys are below them.
Yeah.
Bulldogs we're on the bounce back, but we'll get to that. But yeah, I think you can't worry about a team that's 2 points outside of the 8.
I know, you can't, but
you almost want to, right?
Yeah.
Like, there are concerns.
I feel like it's starting to get to the point now where the league is starting to even out.
Yeah.
And you're
the
starting to see which teams are the top sides and which teams are the bottom sides.
It is so close to the ladder.
Isn't there like 5 teams tied on first?
5 or 6, there's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 5 teams tied on first.
Just 4 and against.
And then, the Roosters are 2 points behind the top of the ladder.
Yeah.
Sorry, 2 wins.
But when you say 2 wins, it's pretty far to the way they've been playing. It's still pretty far away from the top.
Eye test, they're playing horrible, and they almost are playing like they just lost to a Dragons side who are currently wooden spoon favourites. Just sacked their coach,
and they are coming last.
There was a bunch of changes in the side, and obviously, I personally think the changes were for the better for the Dragons. But a change is a change.
But still, most other teams would have been the Dragons.
Yeah,
most other teams would have
and this isn't just a one-off loss. I think it's 3 or 4 in a row now
for the Roosters.
Yeah,
might be 3 in a row.
It's definitely 3 or 4 in a row that they've lost. There's concerns. I'm not ruling them out of the 8. No way.
Yeah, no.
They're 2 points outside of the 8. We know what they can do. They've every year.
What do you mean we know what
teams.
they can do?
Every year they're one of the better teams.
Yeah, but that's the problem with them. I say, people still talk about the Roosters as if they're the benchmark side of the competition,
true.
which they aren't. They haven't been.
And they haven't been for a couple of years.
Yeah, but every year I see everyone saying treat them minor premiers. I'm like, they're
on
not
paper.
I still disagree on paper.
On paper,
I don't rate their forwards as much as other people.
We talked about it last week. They've got too many star players, and
exactly.
This is the issue, though.
That's the thing with them. People expect too much from them. And they haven't finished top 4 in about 3 years.
Yeah, they haven't. And they've been scraping in of late.
They're that next tier down. They're not that elite
Yeah.
side of the league anymore.
I'm worried now because we talked about last week the whole star player thing. And I was like, well, this weekend they're missing a couple of their star players. So I think that'll spread the team
they got
out
the
and they'll
bye this
play
weekend,
better.
don't they?
Yeah, this weekend. But like on the weekend, they were missing Manu and Cheese
still
played
didn't look
small
good.
minutes. And so that's when I was like, oh, well, like if they're missing some, it frees up Tedesco, it frees up Kiri, and they should play well. And
But
they didn't. They still lost.
I think Kiri's coming to the end though.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Definitely.
But yeah, there's just, I just don't rate I don't rate their second rows. I don't rate their lock. Their middles, I think are.
So I like them on paper. I think they're.
Look, Radley can be good, but it's Radley.
What about his headbutt?
Yeah.
Didn't even get. Do you reckon that should have been a sin bin?
It should have been. Yeah,
it
but
should have
they
been,
weren't going to.
But he's got a suspension, I think.
Yeah, he's 4 weeks or so.
Yeah, and they
Typical.
have had a few injuries as well. They've been missing players. Like I think Jared Warrior-Hargrove's been out.
I think they're
Tupou's
really
been
missing
out.
players like the Morris brothers.
Yeah,
Jake Friend, Boyd Cordner,
those
all these,
veterans,
Mitch Orbison.
that leadership.
Yeah, they're missing that.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird.
Like if they make the 8, I'm not going to be surprised at all. But I don't think they can.
It's hard to say they're going to win the comp.
Yeah,
They're not.
They're not winning the comp.
I predict them to win the comp.
No chance they'll win the comp.
I don't know about no chance. I think there's still a sniff.
There is.
But as I
I'm
said,
not saying there's a sniff. There is no chance.
As I said the last couple of weeks, they need to sort some stuff out.
I'm just waiting for like round 27 when the Rabbitohs play them. Like the game for the Rabbitohs to win the minor premiership and Roosters lose, they miss the 8.
Yeah.
Like something like
That'd
that.
be mad.
It would be.
That'd be sick.
And I feel like that could be possibly happening.
That
It would be so good if it
that
does.
100% could happen. Yeah, that's you almost have to go to that game as.
Oh, I'll be there anyway.
I mean, like not you, like me. I'm like, I want to go to that game with that. That's the circumstances.
But like Roosters, Rabbitohs, they're due for another big game. I think very soon.
Yeah,
and we've been asking for a grand final for years.
Yeah, forever.
2013 was the year it should have happened.
Yeah,
but the Souths blew it. They absolutely
typical
choked.
Souths.
They're up 14-0 like another team, and then they just blew it. And the Knights as well were in prelim that year.
Yeah,
Wayne Bennett's Knights.
Yeah, that's true.
From like 8th, weren't they?
Yeah.
But
went on a
no, on
crazy
top of
run.
the Roosters as well, weren't they, in that game?
Yeah, I
until
think so.
Badiris got knocked out.
Yeah.
In his last game.
Yeah,
So,
the 2013 Knights, that's a throwback.
Yeah,
the
it
Bennett
is.
Knights and
Everyone was
nearly
hyping them up for the future, and then they just
Man, that just shows how good of a coach Bennett is.
Yeah.
Like because that roster wasn't even all
It wasn't
that
good.
crazy.
They
I
just-
think was that when Mason was there?
Yeah,
Like,
it was.
It might have been, yeah.
But, you see what Bennett does to
I
clubs.
think they knocked
but
us out of the finals that
They
year.
did, yeah. Then they
Yeah.
got the Storm the next week.
Yeah.
Out in straight sets.
Yeah,
So, it was crazy that.
Yeah.
Like, I was too young to remember that season, but looking back at it now, like, reading up on it, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, one of the better finals.
Like, Souths
series.
were like, they were like nearly $1.50 favourites, premiership odds.
When like that was the year before they won the comp as well.
Yeah, it was. But like I remember prelim final week, there was like the 4 teams left. Rabbitohs were like $1.50 premiership favourites,
Yeah.
and the second team were the Roosters. They were like $3.20.
Yeah.
Like Souths were like flying favourites to win.
And
the
then
comp.
lost to Manly.
Yeah, in the prelim.
Yeah.
Like
There
wow.
was like some sick tries.
Like
on that
everyone
game
said,
from memory as
Souths
well.
will win it that year. Like they were just expected to win. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like we don't want to talk about that anymore. That's the only time I've ever cried after a game. That prelim.
That prelim 2013.
Because Souths were just expected to win it.
You didn't
and they
cry.
didn't.
You didn't cry last Friday
No, I didn't.
at the South Parra
I just
game.
stormed out and cranky.
Before we move on to that game, let's just look at what our predictions were in Roosters.
Oh yeah,
Dragons.
we got it. And Broncos Storm. Oh, Broncos Panthers.
Oh,
Sorry.
we did that. I did that. But,
Oh
yes.
yeah, we did too.
So we both had Panthers 13 plus, and then you had Cobbo.
I believe I had Sloan in this game.
You did. You had Dragons 1-12, so you called it. But you had Sloan. He got the try assist. Does that count?
No, not really. Who'd you have it now?
I had Roosters 1-12 and Billy Smith. I just
Gosh.
just nothing. Just absolutely nothing. But yeah, South Parra, the Chris Sando Shield, as we called it. Talk to me about this game.
Disappointing,
The
like-
upset of the week. Maybe the upset of the year.
Parramatta can only seem to beat the top sides, can they?
Mate, I just, like, they won by 20 points.
I know.
Who saw that coming?
Indigenous
In
round.
Indigenous round at Dyllianz Stadium,
Yeah.
as it's now being called.
Yeah, Souths, like, they started off well. Johnston got those few tries early in the
He got-
game. Like,
scored a
Mitchell
double,
was
yeah.
having a blinder to start it. So was Walker, but then they just didn't show up the second half.
It was just
Second half, they
weird.
just fell asleep. I don't know.
And then Parramatta just clicked as well.
They
Like,
did.
they just started playing rugby league football.
No, like they do against all the top sides.
Yeah, they just turned up and had a crack. And credit to them, they were good.
Did you see Johnston's first try when Mitchell stripped it off him? Like
Yeah.
Ellis threw the intercept and
Yeah,
Mitchell
yeah,
took
yeah.
it straight back off
Yeah.
Parra. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
And both their tries to Johnson were really good in this game.
There was one where Johnson
they
got
showed
taken
what
off him
South
as
are
well.
capable of. Like there was that one where the 3 Indigenous boys all linked up.
Yeah.
You know, Mitchell broke the line, Walker got it.
I just
That was
don't
such an exciting try to
understand
see.
how they fell out of this game.
I don't understand either.
I just don't.
I don't know if they were distracted or it was just an off game for them. I think
But
that
maybe
was.
they just weren't expecting Parra to turn up
I don't.
and be as good as they were.
Yeah.
I think a key part of like what happened was Latrell wasn't as involved as he has been. And we say like Latrell has to be when he's involved, they're unbeatable.
Yeah.
And in this game, he wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know if he was
involved.
just distracted
And
by
he seemed to be
looking
lazy
around his
as
own
well.
stadium, just taking it all in.
Like maybe I don't know. Was Origin in the back of his mind?
It must
or
have been.
something?
Like I don't.
He had such an
No,
off.
I think it was a
night.
loss South needed though.
Yeah,
You know,
mate. Yeah.
Like this is the loss they needed to have. Maybe come back to earth a little bit.
I just like there were moments where Parra was scoring tries like off kicks where Latrell just wasn't taking it dead, like he was just jogging to the ball,
know.
and Parra were just icing their opportunities. So I think Parra were just a better.
But I'm not
team, just
concerned about
outplayed
South
South.
falling down
no,
from
you
here.
can't be
They'll
concerned
bounce
about
back
it.
easily from
And-
this game, especially with the draw they've got coming up.
And
Like,
I know Parra are near the bottom of the ladder, but like they're a top 8 team.
yeah, they are.
They've just been
They just
somehow
gotta get
losing
there.
games, and so it's not a huge loss for South. It's definitely an upset, and it's a game they should have won. But they're still equal first. They're still second on the ladder. They've still got a draw that's relatively
Easy.
comfortable that like we've talked about in the past couple
Yeah.
of weeks. So it's a game they should have won, but I'm not that like it
Yeah, I'm not
doesn't
worried
worry
about
me
it at
that
all.
they dropped it.
And I had Walker Mitchell scoring a try, and they
Yeah,
didn't.
so we both had South 13 plus. You had Trell, and then in your multi of the week, you had Walker as well.
Yeah, I remember
And
the
then
half I
had
said
Graham.
Indigenous round, they'll pump them, and they didn't.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
because there was like stats, like every Indigenous round they scored 32 points or more.
And it was like
Whatever it is.
AJ had scored like 3 or 4 hat tricks in Indigenous
Yeah,
round.
like, I'm like, this will be a blinder for South.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
Just quickly
Wasn't at all.
before we continue,
You know what I also loved? How the announcer at the stadium, right on kickoff, called it Dyllianz.
Did he?
Yeah, he's like, Dyllianz Stadium, you ready? We lost it. We're like, thank you, announcer.
Dyllianz
I swear
no
it's
more.
the same bloke at every game, though.
It would be.
The announcer.
It would be.
I swear every game I go to, it's the same voice. I'm
or like even just like away games as well.
oh, well, I swear
or just
every game
South
I go,
games.
it's that same voice that's like
'Cause
announcing the stadium.
The
I call
Bulldogs,
Allianz.
the Bulldogs had the same announcer every game, and he's the dude that does like all the NRL games, like finals and grand finals. and
Yeah,
major
that's who
rounds
South
stuff.
have as
That
well.
dude,
Yeah.
I forget
He was
his
at
name.
Allianz.
Do you remember his name? I've forgotten his name.
Yeah,
But
I
shout
forgot his
out to
name as
him.
well. But yeah, I swear it's the same bloke at every
yeah,
game.
it is. Before we continue, because I had Graham Trosker, and that reminded me of Origin. We're not talking Origin today,
Yes.
Zane. We're not talking any Origin. If you want to see our thoughts on Origin, we're dropping a special episode on Sunday. What time do you reckon we should drop it?
Let's say, I reckon 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Yeah,
There you go.
perfect time, you know,
Sunday,
after
7 p.m.
dinner.
Yeah.
Get it up,
Eat your
give it
dinner.
a watch.
Watch your Sunday afternoon footy.
Yeah.
Eat your dinner and
Stuff
then
the Matty John show. Watch us
Stuff
instead.
the Matty
yeah.
John show. Get on YouTube and watch our Origin preview. We're deep diving. That's going to be elite. We're going to talk about everything.
Yeah.
Everything Origin. So,
Every player,
yeah.
all their,
Their
everything
history.
about them.
We're going to talk
history.
about one game wonders from Origin past. We're going to review every single Origin game ever. Nah, we're not going that deep, but we're going to go deep. So make sure if you missed an Origin chat in this episode, or if you wanted it, make sure you jump on 7 p.m. Sunday YouTube Origin preview. That's
Give it
gonna
a
be,
look.
What's that?
Oh, I said give it a look. Make
Give
sure.
it a look. Make
when
sure
it's out, at least.
you're on there Sunday. I'm going to make it a premiere as well. You know,
Yeah.
like YouTube premieres?
Yeah,
So
for
I'll be
sure.
in the chat. I'll be in the comments. Ask us any questions. I'll answer your questions on the YouTube premiere. Be there. It's Origin season, baby.
Oh,
Ooh.
wait. Okay. Sorry. It's
What
not, it's not as
happened?
big as I thought, but
Here we go. Drop it. Breaking news.
Ben Icon returns to NRL.
Oh, that's
360
huge.
For tonight only.
Ah.
I was about to say I thought he was back as host.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Icon has just been announced to return
Via
to
a
NRL
live
360.
cross.
Oh, come on.
So he's not in the studio.
And that's on the
See,
Wednesday.
they put the laughing emoji.
And
so,
that's
you
on
know.
Wednesday night.
Yeah.
So that's like last night when we drop our podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
Because this drops Thursday morning. So
Yeah, they
if
put the laughing emoji. They got us excited.
So make sure you go
I was
to
like, "Oh, he's
go
back."
to
Oh, no, he's not.
Foxtel streaming and stream last night's episode of 360.
Yeah.
Check out Ben Icon on 360. Oh dear. Speaking of 360 and Foxtel and Matty Johns, let's go to the Matty Johns Cup. Sharks Knights.
Yeah. Look,
What did you
Knights were
think?
in this game early, but
Yeah.
Sharks are just too good. Just too good for them.
And like I thought Sharks were a bit off, but they were just
Ponga
too
getting
good.
concussed
Yeah,
again.
let's talk about that.
that's
Kalen
just-
Ponga.
I think he was still concussed.
That's
you
what-
saw him come out and not play the
Well,
ball.
let's look at the play of the ball.
That was weird.
That was shocking.
Yeah.
That was just like so obviously he got knocked out like in the first 2 or 3 minutes, went off, and he was out cold on the ground. I thought it looked like category 1.
Yeah, I thought
but
he was
then
gone.
they said it was category 2.
I don't know how he came back out there. I'm
passed
like, what?
his test, came back on, and then late in the second half, it was 5th tackle, 5th and last. And then while he was spraying Tyson Gamble, I think it was, he just puts the ball down and then doesn't play the ball.
Then he gets up. He's
just
like,
blew
what have
up
I done here?
himself.
What have I done?
And you got to, like, was he still concussed?
I
Like,
think
what
he
happened
was.
there? And then, obviously, as I said, we're talking Origin on Sunday, but then he's missed
out.
Origin
I know.
selection.
It's
and,
crazy. I didn't think it would happen.
And Billy said
People
like it
called
was
for it, but it
sort of
happened.
to do with his head knocks. There were concerns about his head knocks. So, and he's actually going back to fullback this week as well. So there's definitely concerns from inside the club.
I think it's
obviously.
perfect though that he's back there. We'll see how it goes.
Hurts Lockie Miller in fantasy though.
Oh, I had
Traded
got rid
him
of him
straight
Yeah,
out.
I got rid of him ages
Oh,
ago.
you're
though.
lucky.
Yeah.
He's been going terrible.
Yeah.
I traded in Gutho. Shout out King Gutho.
Yeah, I have Guffo as well.
Yeah, because I was like over the Origin period.
Yeah, Guffo.
He's not in Origin, so he should. I think they've got to buy like one buy, or maybe they might have
Parramatta.
2. Yeah, but like he should be playing most of the games.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I went with him. But yeah, as I was saying, I think the Sharks, like obviously they outplayed the Knights, but they weren't even perfect. I thought a lot of their
but the Sharks haven't
their
been
shape.
perfect in any game this
Yeah.
year, except for the one against the Cowboys.
they were bombing. Yeah,
That's
true.
the only game I think they've played
They
at
were
their
just
best.
they weren't silky like with their shape out the back. They were just dropping a lot of balls at the
So,
end.
late run could come for the Sharks, or are they overachieving again?
Well, I don't know if they're not overachieving yet. So, like, if they are going to, shake up the finals, they're going to have to go on a late run. Where are they coming? Like,
They're
they're in.
third.
Okay.
They're right up there.
Maybe they are overachieving.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
I
they were
don't look
that
at them
high.
as a top 4 side. That's the thing.
Not yet. I think
No.
they're capable of being a top 4 side.
Like, they finished second last year, but like I said, they shouldn't
Yeah.
have. I didn't think
The
they.
footy they're playing right now isn't top 4. Footy.
Yeah,
it's
it's
finals.
not. Yeah,
it's top 8, but not top 4. But
Exactly.
but they're capable of.
They are.
Like if they get those
They just need
that
more,
shape out the back,
just
right,
need more rain, so Henrico comes out more.
Yeah, you're not wrong. If it rained, did you know they're like 11 out of 11 in the rain?
Oh, there was the
Since
game against the
Nico
Warriors they
signed?
lost.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
Well then that's completely wrong. I
Yeah.
read that before the Manly game last week that they were 10 from 10. But yeah, that's a lie because the
The Warriors
Warriors
got
beat
them.
them in the rain. But yeah, if they can get some wet weather games, I think Nico starts like he's been good, but he goes to another level.
In the rain, no.
Maybe the passes start to stick a bit more, and yeah, I think they're capable of going deep into the finals. To be honest, if they get it together,
Yeah.
the way they're playing right now, I don't see a deep finals run. But like we know what they're capable
Yeah,
of.
exactly.
Like their shape's silky, but there's just a lot of drop balls that like off the back of it and stuff.
Yeah,
so
no, I just
there's
don't
a few
think.
little
I just
kinks
don't
they
think
gotta
they're at
work out.
100% yet.
Yeah,
I think they got a lot more. In
yeah, agreed. I don't really have much
Yeah,
to
no,
talk about in
yeah,
this game. It was just
yeah.
a bit of
People
a
gave the
Saturday
Knights
game.
a chance in this, but
Yeah,
I
I don't know
expected
why.
Sharks to win.
Yeah, I didn't expect Knights to even be a sniff, to be honest. I just didn't see it. Let's talk about game of the week. The Tigers.
Oh, no one saw. I tipped the Tigers. I did
no
not.
one saw it coming as he tips the Tigers.
66.
66.
Oh, I tipped the Tigers expecting it to be like
It's a club
low
record.
scoring, like 16-10,
Yeah.
16-12,
Well,
66 to 18.
You had Tigers, 1 to 12.
And they took,
So-
it's when the floodgates opened, they took Twile off. How dare they?
How can you
dare
take
they?
12 off? Did I message you and
Yeah.
say that he's going to score? I was like, I
Like,
can
when
feel
Stefano
it. He's going
scored,
to score.
I thought it was Twile.
Oh.
I'm like, that is his position, his spot.
If he scored, they literally would have stormed the field
That was
too. The way
it.
the crowd was, the
That
mood
was
they
his
were in.
position where Stefano scored.
Yeah.
If Twile was there, he would have got over. It would have been
man.
incredible.
Can you imagine the scenes
Oh.
at Leichhardt? Like they were already off, just like pumping, and then if he scores, they legit
Yeah.
storm the field.
Like, what a way to send off Leichhardt as well and
Yeah.
celebrate Luke Brooks.
Well, I thought it was a Leichhardt send off, but now they've confirmed they're playing 5 games there
next year. Oh, have they? Oh,
After all the hype all week, it's Brooksy's 200th. It's
last game.
Offa
Are they
Hengali's
going to use
last
this every
game.
year so they can always get a big
Yeah, I
win
don't know.
there?
They may as well. I
Yeah.
think every time they play, they're off that last game. We're not going to use it again because they bloody turned up and they got a job done. 66. Name one player in their team that had a bad game.
No one. They all
I'll tell
played.
you who. I'll tell you what. Luke Brooks didn't turn up. That was Joey Johns. That was
Yeah,
prime
you're
Joey
right.
playing. What happened there?
He was so good in this game. Stafford Toa, best game of his career so far.
Yeah, easily.
That
Stafford
was
Toa
very,
dominated.
very good.
Up against Val Holmes, one of the elite centres of the game.
Coruscant, like,
Happy Coruscant
best game
arguably
he's played all
played
year.
himself into a Blues jersey,
Yeah.
which obviously we'll touch on
which
Sunday,
I disagree
7 p.m.
with if
but
it's based off that one game, him getting the spot.
Yeah.
But yeah, same
Yeah.
with Stefano.
Yeah.
which is a very odd decision, but we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about that Sunday, 7 p.m. But yeah, I just like Brandon Wakeham.
Yeah,
had a brilliant game.
Like,
just
there's not
everyone.
a bad player.
Yeah.
But the Cowboys, on the other hand, I
Shout
think
out
they
Chris Thomas.
gave in at the end of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
They're just like, we're not winning this, let's just go lazy.
And that's what they did
Kyle
against...
Felt had a shocker.
They did that against the Sharks as well, where as soon as they sort of fell out of the game, they just turned off completely.
Kyle Felt had a shocker.
Yeah.
Like that try that Buller scored, that was just clumsy.
There were just so many bad
and
moments.
they really
from the
missed
Cowboys.
Jason Taumalolo as well, I thought.
Definitely.
He was
Yeah,
a
definitely.
big loss for him in this game.
I think Tommy Dearden through this Origin period because he's 18th man for Queensland.
Yeah.
Like, so he won't be able to play. That'll be a big loss as well.
Yeah, it
like
will.
one of their halves.
Who do they have in this week?
They play Parra.
Yeah, but who do they have?
Oh, I don't know. Actually, that's a good
In
question.
over
Have a
Dearden?
look.
I saw it the other day.
I have big concerns about the Cowboys just in general, but also the fact that
Possible wooden spoon, you reckon?
I think maybe just because of this, it's the Sydney games they're dropping.
Yeah, they can't win outside
In Queensland, that's when they're playing good. But then, like you look at the Sharks
Ben
game,
Hampton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like they had the Sharks game in Sydney that they got pumped, and then they got pumped by the Tigers. I'm looking at the Eels this week.
They don't have a good
At
side.
Bankwest,
They don't have a good side this week, Cowboys.
And then you look at the Eels side; they're missing like one Origin. They've got one player out to Origin.
Yeah, we'll
So
talk
they've got
about this
their
in the
whole
preview,
spine.
but they don't look good this
Yeah.
week, Cowboys.
I
It's
think
a terrible team.
I think because it's in Sydney and their record in Sydney this year, plus the team they've named because they're missing Origin players, and Parra aren't really
I
missing
think they
that
can
many.
bounce back, but yeah, we'll talk about it in the preview that game, won't we?
But I'm worried about the Cowboys.
yeah, it's not
Do you
good.
think
And
they're
they had a
wooden
bad
spoon contenders?
They had a bad record in Sydney last year as well.
Yeah.
They just had a lot of
They
games.
had a lot
I
of
think.
games in Queensland.
I think they are
Like
contenders.
so
at
they're
least.
currently
I
fourth,
tagged you in that
bottom
post the
four.
other day. The 4 teams that are in contention for
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Would you scratch them from finals?
Yes.
So you'd scratch
they're not
Dragons, Tigers, Bulldogs, Cowboys
That was it.
so far.
Yeah.
Eels, not yet.
No, not yet. Definitely.
I think
Roosters not yet. No. Knights.
Because once again, Cowboys and Bulldogs are still equal with Eels.
Knights are the next
It's so
team.
weird.
Knights are the next team I'll rule out.
Well, they're
but
one
they
point.
got Ponga back at fullback now, so I want to see how they go for a few weeks.
It's just so insane how close this
Yeah.
comp is, Zane. You look at the Cowboys, the Bulldogs, and you're like, yeah, they're probably not playing finals. Like they're both 2 wins out of the 8.
I know, but-
like it's just crazy how close it is.
Yeah.
And obviously, there's so many reasons why you'd rule them out because of like the team.
Look, I don't think the Tigers will get the spoon, and I don't think the Bulldogs will get
I
the
think
spoon.
it's Dragons.
I think it is as well.
Even like it's so crazy. Like they got that miracle win against
And
the
they still
Roosters,
come in last.
and they came last.
Yeah, I think Dragons will get it this year.
Yeah.
And I've looked at their draw as well.
No good.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, okay. Because like they did win against the Roosters. Like they obviously
But
can
the
win
Roosters,
games. But,
like again, we're doing it. We're talking the Roosters up as one of the top sides.
Yeah.
They're not at the moment.
yeah, but I don't
They're
even
not
mean
top
I don't
18.
even mean because they beat the Roosters. I mean like arguably like one of the worst weeks in years for the Dragons.
Yeah.
And then they still like pull
I
off a
expected them
win.
to get up for this game though.
Yeah,
I
fair.
expect interim coaches usually do good in their
Yeah,
first
that
game,
is true.
don't they?
Yeah. Anything else out of this game? I think it's
not
just
really, but-
shout out to the Tigers. Shout out to Luke Brooks who
Yeah. Glad he had a good game as well.
I was watching last weekend. Like the start of last week. I was watching like some old Origin stuff, old Joey stuff, because like obviously
It was comparable, wasn't it?
Well, yeah. Well, he retired when I was 6, I think.
Yeah.
So I never watched Joey, and then I went onto YouTube and spent like 1 or 2 days just watching Joey stuff. So like the 05 Origin.
Yeah.
It was like I watched like the whole game, and then I watched like a 30-minute doco about that. Which, if you have time before Origin, go on YouTube and search Joey 05. And there's a 30-minute doco about the 05 series, and it's so good. Like, actually watch
How
it. It's
good
really,
John's
really
was,
good.
isn't it?
It focuses on Johns a lot, but just in general, this series.
Yeah.
That's the last New South Wales series before the 8th straight
Yeah.
as well. So I recommend watching that on YouTube, 30 minutes. It's so good. And then I found like a Joey Johns documentary from 02, which I watched, and watching Luke Brooks on the weekend.
He was always compared to him as well as a junior. He was compared to Joey Johns.
The way he plays, there was literally moments where I'm like, this reminds me of watching Joey last week. Like, it is insane. It sounds so absurd, but they're just like little elements in his game. I'm not like, he's not as good as Joey.
Yeah,
let's
obviously.
get that out. He's not as good as Joey, but there were little things in his game that are similar to the way Joey played.
And you don't like regarding Johns as one of the greats of the games, do you?
Like after watching that stuff, it's like
Now you.
I'm happy to say he's arguably the GOAT. He's easily probably top 2. But I just don't like having him up
Because
on a
of
pedestal
his
because of his
off-field.
off-field stuff. I just don't like
He's falling
idolising him.
asleep in airports and
Yeah. Like, I don't like idolising him. But in terms of just footy, and especially
He is
after watching
incredible.
that, like, he's one of the best.
Like, you know, he's a pain in the ass to listen to, but he's
Yeah.
so smart. Like, you watch him
Yeah.
break down plays. Like,
Yeah.
he's so good at it. Like, he just knows the game so well. And I actually enjoyed that sort of part of him where he breaks down plays and breaks down tries.
Yeah,
Just
it's
he
good
does
to
it
listen
so
to.
good.
Him and Cooper Cronk as well.
Yeah,
breaking
you
down
know,
stuff.
they'd make good coaches.
Yeah.
But, you know, God forbid he coaches the Blues. Because I saw
He's a good assistant
his side that he was going to pick. And no.
I think he's a good assistant coach.
He said
Not
he
head
had
coach.
Joseph Suwali in his side.
Yeah, of course he
no,
did.
no. No. Don't ever coach Origin.
Yeah, I
Joey.
just like there's little things where like Joey just sees so much and like he can put in like the perfect kick. And there was a kick Brooks put in where I was just like, man, that reminds me of Joey. And he's not as good as Joey. I'm not saying that, but there were just glimpses of the way he played that reminded me of it. So shout out to Luke Brooks, who in his 200th, he had all his best mates there. Moses, Reynolds was on the field. It was good to see the Tigers get up and give their fans something they deserved, I think. Dolphins stormed the Bromwich Bowl.
Yeah.
Actually, let's just go back. Actually,
Crazy
we'll move
start
on, yeah.
though. Kafusi was he took it. He went over the top. That was not needed.
He
That
wanted a
was
bit
just-
of revenge. and
That
he
was just
got it.
ridiculous the way he started that game. Like, come on.
He must have been that fired up.
Yeah,
mate. I
and
wonder if
excited.
Wayne
I know
got
he
him
was
fired
excited
up.
to play him, but that was
Yeah.
just too much. And the ref even said it as well. He's like, "Go."
The ref came
Like,
out
you're
hard
being
because I
ridiculous
think the
here.
ref knew if I don't send him now, this is only going to keep
Yeah.
going. And so he just had to deal with it straight away and set the tone early. But yeah, I thought this game was a bit.
It was mad,
was
but
just- yeah.
I'm starting to get on the Dolphins bandwagon. I know they didn't win this game, but
They were good.
I
They were
really
really-
rate them, and I think they can go far in finals.
They're
I've-
currently sixth. I think they can make finals.
I think they can. And
Do you think they will?
I think they will. Yeah,
I
think they will.
It's so insane sitting here halfway through this season when at the start of the year
I
we're like,
predicted them to
wooden
come
spoon.
last. Didn't think they'd be competitive at all.
It's insane,
Thought they
isn't
would have
it?
won one game by now,
We're
which
all
is
just-
a game that they lost.
We're all sleeping on Wayne.
Because I
Bennett.
remember we were looking pre-season that they drew and we're like, when are they going to
Yeah,
get
when
their
are they
first
gonna get
win?
their first
No, they got it in the
win?
first week against.
Yeah.
But I think it's crazy to say. I think they can go on a run in the finals.
You reckon they can win the
We were
comp?
just talking about before. Remember Knights 2013 finished seventh
Yeah.
prelim. Who's the other one? There was.
Those Bulldogs 2014, they went on a run through the finals.
yeah, that wasn't with Wayne Bennett.
Oh, true.
Like, you know,
Dragons
Dragons
2010.
went well. Like Knights on that run.
the comp.
You know, Broncos had
He did it. He was like part of Broncos' first premiership.
Yeah, like sides can go on runs when he's there.
Yeah.
Because he gets his sides like perfect for finals time.
Yeah.
Like he builds them up at
He
the
knows his stuff.
like South's 2020, I guess you could say. They finished sixth, and you know they smashed the Roosters 60-8 that
Yeah.
last week, and then they got the
Yeah.
pre. And realistically, should have won that game.
Yeah.
like just a few little errors is what costed them. But
Yeah.
you know they go on runs at the right time of the year, Wayne Bennett sides, and that's what I'm concerned about.
He
for the Dolphins.
It doesn't matter where they finish in the 8. If they're in
He
the
doesn't
8,
care if they're not top 4.
They can win the comp.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
just,
not
'cause
saying they can win the
no,
comp.
I mean, like finals is a different beast.
exactly.
Finals is a different beast. They're capable. I'm not saying they're going to win the
The
comp.
way they
but
play at
they're
their best,
capable
they
if
can
make
beat both
finals.
sides.
Yeah.
And I
Like
think,
I agree,
think
they
they
can
can
go
go
on.
deep into the
They
final.
can go
If they
on a
make the
run.
8, I reckon they can make the prelim.
Yeah, that's what
at
I'm
the
saying.
most.
Yeah.
If they go
You
further
can't-
than
can't
that,
get
that's
past the
just,
pre-
imagine their first season.
I think if they're making a prelim, Wayne Bennett can get them up to win a prelim.
he can.
Like, there's not many teams that go to a prelim and then like are
I don't wanna
incapable
think
of
that
winning a
far back,
prelim.
imagine.
Like, let's look at the 2017 Cowboys. Like,
Yeah, they were
they
written off.
fluked the first 2 weeks, made the prelim, they won the prelim.
Yeah.
Like, if you're making a prelim, you've earned a spot there and you can win a prelim.
Yeah.
Do you know what
exactly.
I mean? And so it's scary to think like,
I think they can go really deep, and I'm probably going to cop it for saying this, but I think they can go close to winning the comp.
I don't
don't think they will, but I think they
Yeah,
can go
like, I don't
really
think they will
close.
win the comp.
And I think they're going to surprise a lot
but
of
I
people.
think they are capable. Just because of Wayne
They're
Bennett.
capable of doing
They're
it.
capable.
Yeah. I think they are,
Yeah.
but I don't think they will.
Yeah, no, I don't think they will,
surely
but they're
not.
capable.
Imagine the poor Warriors in Gold Coast if they win a comp.
We'll look
before
back
then.
at this in a few months and we'll be like,
Yeah,
oh,
what
wow,
was-
we called that.
And we'll be like,
If they win it.
why did we say that? That was just stupid.
They'll end up coming like bottom 4 and
Yeah.
we'll be like, oh, we're idiots. Yeah, no, you just don't know with Wayne
But the
Bennett.
Storm, are they back? I don't think so.
I wouldn't say they're back, but like
I don't think they're that
they're
good.
playing good. They're playing all
They're
right
playing
footy.
fine.
They're
but
in 5th.
I don't think
They'll
they're
make
top 4.
finals.
I don't think they're a top 4
Yeah.
side.
I think there's a world where they sneak into the top 4, but I wouldn't say they're a top 4
Yeah,
side.
I don't think they win the comp though.
They make the 8.
Yeah, they're just,
And now it's not Wayne Bennett.
they're just that middle.
Craig
like,
Bellamy.
They're a top 8 side, but they're not the elite side anymore either.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like once they do get, if Pappenhausen comes back this season, that does change
a lot of rumours saying he might not ever come back.
That's what I'm saying.
That would be devastating because he's so good.
Well, I think Craig Bellamy extending 2 things. Firstly, it means that they're not going to lift as much in finals for I've been saying like the Last Dance sort of vibe. I'm like, maybe they'll lift for Bellamy. That can't happen now.
Yeah.
Because he's coaching next season. I also wonder, is he coaching next season because he knows that Pappenhausen's not coming back this season and he wants a comp before he retires and he knows that he's not doing it without Pappenhausen?
Maybe that's
Do you
the
know
case.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, is that something that sort of happened?
It could be.
And so, I don't know. Like the Dolphins, they're capable of winning the comp, especially if
we know they're capable,
but I just don't think they will. Actually, Zane, speaking of like the halfway point and predictions and stuff, we've got a mystery guest coming on next week for the podcast. We do. And we're doing like a season. What are we doing? Like a prediction,
mid-season preview, and like updated ladder prediction.
Reviewing our predictions.
Like we'll show our pre-season ladder prediction versus the one how we think it's going to be at this point.
Yeah. So we're going to review what our predictions were, and then basically redo them at the halfway point.
Then I guess we could just go through one of our ladders and talk about like what we thought would happen with the side versus what's actually happening and what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong.
Sort of a review of that, and then a preview of
and
like
the
where
guest.
He
will be a content creator.
Or her. Could be a girl.
Yeah.
Could be a girl. Girls can be guests as well.
It will be a content creator, and like I'm sure most of you know who it is once you see them. Like we'll put clues on our
it'll be someone you recognise.
We'll put clues on our story about the guest, and then you can put in your guesses.
We'll have a bit of fun with it. But there is going to be a guest, and I'm like 90.
And I believe some players may come in the future.
Yeah, well, actually, fun fact, Troll Mitt's coming on next week. He's the guest.
Yeah, he's the guest, isn't he?
But the guest, like we're not just getting like some random bloke off the street as a guest. It will be like a notable content creator.
Yeah.
Or I was going to say all girl, but that I didn't say it was a bloke. Anyway, let's move on to the game of the week. I've got 2 words for you, Zane. I'm not even going to preface what the game was. The Ock, baby. The Ock.
I nearly picked him anytime try scorer.
The Ock.
And Titans were up 14-0 at halftime. I reckon they'll lose. They'll lose.
They love blowing a lead.
And I know you hate to hear it, but this was a fluke win for the Dogs. It was a fluke. And they would not have beat it. Of course, it was the Titans are the team that blow that sort of lead. If they versed any other team, I don't think they would.
I don't know if you'd say it's a fluke win, but it's like, it's not a win where you're like, oh, they're a top 8 team now.
Because, it was a fluke of a win.
I don't reckon it was because that's just the sort of footy we've been playing.
Lucky in the end.
I don't think we did. We've been playing. That's the brand of footy we've been playing. The
Titans' defence on the Ockenbaugh try was absolutely horrific.
Abysmal.
Yeah,
I think that let's be honest.
It's worse than the Fafita try.
Firstly, you called him Ockenbaugh. Don't say those words, mate. Don't say those words. But secondly, that try. That was a bit of a fluke.
It was.
Because he was taking a settler. But I think the game as a whole, the comeback win, I don't think that's a fluke. I think that's...
the final try is a fluke.
We did it against the Cowboys. We came back. Against Manly last year, we came back. I think that's just the sort of footy we've been playing.
And, the Fafita try, that first try was... He literally walked over the line. It was just a soft try.
3 or 4 blokes. There was the Stimson try off the Tino offload.
Yeah.
That was very soft, but... Mate, the Ock.
I had a car scoring, didn't I?
Yeah, we both had the Fox and we both had Doggies 13 plus.
Did I have Dogs 13 plus?
I convinced you into 13 plus.
Okay, did I?
Because you said Dogs and you didn't have a margin, and then I was like, surely go 13 plus.
Okay, there we go.
But I just you look at the clip we put up last week on the podcast, we were hyping up the Ock, saying, that he'd scored the try against the Warriors. He'd finally got over, that he'd rebranded. The rebrand is complete. He's redeemed himself, scores the match-winning try. And now it's everywhere. The Ock is everywhere. You see Trademark's post about... his team of the week, and he put the Ock.
It's the cult hero at the Dogs at the moment.
You go to any Bulldogs comment section, everyone's saying the Ock. He's cult hero level now. There's current auctions on the Indigenous jerseys, and I want his jersey. I want the match winning Ock jersey, but it's like $1,000, and I don't have $1,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
But yeah, outside of the Ock scoring the match winner, man,
Gold Coast.
The crowd went nuts when he scored.
Yeah.
But can you imagine how I felt after talking him up all week,
Yeah, I know.
defending him as a forward, and then he scores. I just I collapsed on the ground.
Of all people, like
all
if I
people.
was there and I was thinking about going, people asking me to come to the game, and I was like, yeah, I can't. I had worked at Arvo, but I would have laughed my ass off seeing Ockenball score the match winner.
It was so many different emotions because it's just unbelievable. I was just overjoyed that somehow I'd been defending him for weeks as a forward, because I do like him as a forward, and everyone remembers him as the winger, Jaden Ockenball, the winger, and so watching him score, it was I just won all these internet arguments, and then we'd scored the match-winning try to win the game, and then I literally just collapsed on the ground.
Did you really?
In laughter and enjoy? Yeah, I just sat on the ground and I was like, bruh, what just happened? It was just crazy. You can't make that up. Of all the players to score a match-winning try.
But what about the Titans on the other hand?
The Titans, they blew the lead again.
I don't know what it is there. Do you reckon Holbrook's time's getting close to ending if they don't start?
I just don't understand how they keep blowing leads.
I just think they're just...
What is it?
I just think they're too big of a forward pack and they just get tired.
Mate, yeah,
I think that's
maybe.
what it is, fatigue.
I mean, that's a fair shout,
their defence in that last 10 minutes was awful.
You look at the Ock try, it was lazy defence in the middle of the field that he scored off.
It was.
Because he stepped forward and then there was no cover.
If that was
from
Penrith or Souths, they would have swept through and took him out there.
Yeah.
He would not have gotten
exactly.
over.
That's what I mean. There was no
Someone would have
cover.
come through and taken him out.
That's it.
The Titans,
that is
they
a
just
fair
leaned
point. Is
over
it a
and
fatigue thing? I think Fafita and Tino were playing big minutes as well. So maybe it's a bench rotation thing. Are they getting the minutes wrong? Yeah, no, that's a good point. It's just they had us at 0 points in the first half. We didn't look like scoring.
Yeah,
we didn't even look like scoring. And then
I thought Titans could get at least 30 in this game.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to go that way. I was so defeated at half time. 14-0. It felt like it was more than 14-0. And then they find a way to blow games. I just don't understand how they do it.
And their hopes of playing finals, like I've said, is if they can beat the Bulldogs, if they can beat the Sea Eagles, which they did, but the Knights, these sides, they need to be beating them because they're around them on the ladder.
And we said the other week, it was I think maybe 2 weeks ago, if they beat the Dolphins, they would have been in equal first.
Yeah,
that was a couple of weeks ago. They would have, but they just keep
4
choking
points
these
they've blown
games.
now. They'd be right up there.
I think there's been a couple of other games as well. They were in the Broncos game.
Oh yeah, they were.
They were in it.
Yeah, they were in it.
They beat
the
and it was
Storm.
a thing last year as well.
There was another one very early on in the year that they lost when they were up.
Yeah,
it might have been round 2.
I don't remember.
Oh, the one against the Dragons, round 2.
Yeah,
at Cogra.
Yeah,
they were up 12-2.
Yeah, it's just there's a key player I want to look at.
They do need Sam Verrills back, and AJ Brimson, he needs to come back as well.
That is true. Brimson
they're
wasn't
two
playing.
big
They
losses
have had
for him.
outs, and Kyle Parra was out as well.
Yeah, exactly.
They
got players out, but come on, you can't blow a 14-0 lead, especially against the Dogs who...
Yeah, bottom four side.
Yeah, they're
bottom four side.
Overall, over the last 5 years, they've overall been the worst team in the league.
I don't know about that. You reckon the worst team
if you
over
put
5 years?
the last 5 years together, wins, losses, I think they'd be the lowest.
I think bottom 4 still, but I don't think they're the lowest.
I think Titans would be higher than them. The Dogs...
Yeah, maybe.
they're getting better, but that's a win
maybe.
you can't be blowing.
You can't. You can't blow that
It's
game.
not as bad as 26-0, obviously, but still, that's
You look at the very last play of the game when they set up for the 2-point field goal.
Oh, yeah, that was...
Just the miscommunication.
Oh, I know.
Hits Tino when, Tanner Boyd was screaming for it. He chucked a tantrum when he didn't get the ball.
Yeah, then,
just little things like that.
And it did come back to him and he stuffed it.
Because if they hit him, he's every chance of kicking them.
Yeah.
He had all the time in the world as well. It's just little things like miscommunication and fatigue and stuff, that are costing them games, and they need to sort that sort of stuff out. I think. Let's talk about their wait.
I'm not going to put a pen through the Titans making finals. I still think they're capable of doing it with their attack.
They're showing that they're capable of doing it.
Yeah, with their attack, they can do it, and they've got a pretty good run, in the last 5 weeks.
And in periods, their defense is awesome. As I said, they kept us to 0 in the first half.
They can, but again, I think fatigue comes in, and they just leak points very easily.
What about some discipline from the Titans? What did you think of Tino's elbow to Marnie's face?
See, look, I've been someone who defends players that do this all the time. If he's running with the ball, because I remember a few years ago, Sam Burgess did it to one of the Morris brothers.
Yeah, okay.
But, the Morris brothers, they sook and whinge about everything. I just think they shouldn't penalise it unless he's actually, put his elbow up deliberately.
Like he did do that.
I feel like he just went to like put.
I think it might have been
palm him off.
He was sort of defending impact. Like it was sort of muscle memory
and
sort of
Marnie
thing.
had his
but
head
he
in the
still
wrong
did
spot.
it. I don't know if he had his head in the wrong spot. He's just shorter.
Yeah, like it's like pretty identical to that Sam Burgess one that time.
And then there was also the spear tackle.
Oh, yeah, that was a penalty.
I think it was. I think it should have been at least a sin.
My dad disagreed though.
He didn't think it should have been a penalty.
No. He said that's how you taught the tackle. I'm like, is it? It was the same, it was the same with the Cleary one last year. He said that's how you taught the tackle, right?
The only difference between this one and the Cleary one, and let's remember Cleary was suspended for 6 to 8 weeks and sent off. The only difference was the way they landed.
Yeah.
Like it was still a spear tackle.
The Cleary one was dangerous though.
But this one was as well. He just landed differently.
I felt like the Cleary one was worse.
Because he landed differently though. Like, because Cleary followed through where Tino got him in the dangerous position, he sort of let go. Didn't follow through. But I think it should have been a sin bin. And maybe I'm biased, but like that's a spear tackle. And I think he should be missing Origin. Like, I think he should be suspended.
Who, Tino?
Yeah. Like, if Cleary's getting 6 to 8 weeks, like...
Yeah, well, you know, it's Origin period. Like, if Cleary had done that exact same tackle before Origin, he would not be suspended.
Exactly.
It's just, back in the year, they want to rest the star players in time for finals.
Yeah.
Because, he came back right before finals. Yeah. It's like Taylor May, they suspended him for this season, which is still just ridiculous, like, just stupid.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's so dumb. And then he, like, injured himself
for the fans,
anyway.
For the fans.
That's why Tino's got a fine. It's for the fans for Origin. No, I'm keen to see him and Tavita in Origin.
Oh, yeah.
Which we'll touch on Sunday at 7 p.m.
I completely didn't think about that. It's going to be good.
Eat that up.
I think that's a big reason why I picked him as well.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
I think it is.
See that. We'll talk about it in the Origin preview. We'll talk about
let's just completely say
they had a boxing lesson today.
Let's completely say
should have got Matty Burden to join him for the boxing lesson, shouldn't they? Because I've seen him try and throw him at Dan Gagai.
Somebody needs to teach Matt Burden how to throw a punch. Like the Dubbo boy can't throw.
I've got a second question. We'll talk about it.
We're nearly at 3 questions. I just want to also say, just shout out to Carlo Lawapa. I thought he had a pretty solid game.
That hit on foreign.
Oh, they hit on foreign.
Bloody, I'm someone younger than me smashing someone. Yeah, like.
He's a granddad, bro. He's got grandkids. Like, he's an old man. No, he's like 32, I think. But like, he's a veteran and he's an ex-Bulldogs 5'8". That was a passing the bat. He snapped him. He's so good defensively, Oluwapu.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Like, you watch his highlights
like
in
these young
juniors.
like halves that are coming through are very good defensively. Yeah. Like Lachlan Ilias as well. Like very good defensive.
Yeah, he puts. I remember I did the reaction video to him as like of his junior Queensland Cup sort of highlights.
Yeah.
And the main comment, because I was like watching him snap blokes and I'm like, oh, how good is this? And everyone's commenting, but he's not going to be able to do it to first graders. Well, he just did. He absolutely leveled Kieran Foran. Yeah, Kieran Foran. And I also thought Burden was pretty solid, especially with his kicks. Like, so many of our tries came off his bombs, like that Avarillo one.
Yeah.
Nobody could contest, and Avarillo just caught it and scored. But I just thought Titans blew a lead. Bulldogs somehow clutched
an
up.
An unsurprising lead as well. Like, I kind of knew that would happen.
Yeah.
Of like home crowd, Bulldogs can get home.
I didn't even thought of it, Like at halftime 14-0, it didn't even cross my mind that, they're going to blow this lead. I completely forgot that that's what they do. But yeah, I think, and shout out to the Ock. Redemption arc, man of the match. Let's Ock, baby. All right, Raiders Manly, the Matt Orford Cup to round out the week.
Very surprising. Like, I thought the Raiders would win this well, but Travojevic, my God.
We both had Raiders 1-12.
That was just prime Travojevic.
He's been so bad in the past few weeks.
I wouldn't say bad, but like defensive.
I'd say bad.
This is the best game he's had since 2021.
But on the weekend, this was 2021 Turbo.
Yeah.
He was unbelievable.
Yeah. How much fantasy points did he score?
I think he got near 100. I think it was in the 80s maybe.
Why'd I trade him out?
Because he was going bad.
For Dom Young.
But as we keep saying, we're going to talk Origin on Sunday, but he played himself into an Origin jersey, I think.
And he got it because of that game.
That's what I'm saying. I think
Graham was ready for it, but he got it because of that game. He got 105 points.
There you go. He cracked 100. Wow. Like, he had... Get his stats up. Let's find his stats.
The two players who I got rid of from my side, Tom Travojevic, Elliot Whitehead. Elliot Whitehead got 73.
He's injured now, though, luckily. He's injured now.
Wow. I hate fantasy.
I think Raiders just weren't ready for Manly to turn.
I just don't know. That's just a Raiders performance. Like, they can go on these runs, but then they get pumped, and you're like,
they'd won 5 in a row.
Yeah, and you're like, how'd this happen?
I thought they were definitely like a top 8 team. They were going really good. They are still 8th, but
I still think they are.
And they still are in the 8th, but
That's
like the
hard
way
to say,
they played
actually.
on the weekend. Like Tom Trebojevic,
I don't know what to think of them. Like again, they're just that middle. They're just that middle side.
Meters. The Raiders, they're just
Yeah, they're just that side. Look, they're not bad. They're not good, but it's just a bit.
He scored a hat trick. 20 runs for 245 meters. 3 line breaks. 2 line break assists. A try assist. 9 tackle breaks. Like this is prime Tommy
105
Turbo.
points. I can see why now.
2 offloads. Like this is legit. That is just prime Tommy Turbo. Didn't even miss a tackle either. Shout out to him. I'm so pumped for him in Origin now.
Yeah.
Because I was worried, bro, because he was going bad. I'm like, I don't want him there. Now I'm
2021
pumped.
backline is back.
Yeah.
Is back.
I think. And I also want to say, Josh Schuster, doesn't he change the Manly
He
attack?
does, yeah.
Completely.
People are starting to write Manly off, but now thinking about this, like they can still make the 8.
It'll be
can't
interesting
they?
over the Origin period without
they go,
no
yeah.
Turbo, no
Gerbo.
Gerbo, no DCE. It'll be interesting to see how they go. But I think if they can handle
Good
it,
old Jacob Arthur's there now. He's
that
going
is
to carry
true.
that side for
What do you reckon
Origin.
of that
it's a
signing?
bit,
I think
look
it
at who
makes
Manly have
sense.
signed this year. Arthur, Woods, Seabold. Like it's a bit odd, isn't it?
I think this one makes sense though. To be honest, like
He's a depth sign because they went for Flanagan.
because exactly they wanted Flanagan, that sort of fell through, and they've got Arthur who needed a change of environment.
Yeah.
He needed a change of environment, and so I think it's good for both parties. Nice little depth signing through the Origin period, especially with Schuster back, which helps. And then Eels, he gets away from the Eels and it helps him. I think. Hopefully the Manly fans, I know like they're so. I personally think they're some of the most toxic fans
Manly.
in the NRL. Like at games, like I've had beers thrown at me at Brookvale.
No, I haven't been at a Manly
So,
home game before.
yeah, but so hopefully they look after young Jake Arthur. His dad being the coach, jokes are gone, which will help him. But yeah, I think just the way Josh Schuster changed the attack just frees up.
And
everyone
everyone thought he
else.
was on the outer at Manly.
Yeah, and then he just came back and
Yeah, indeed. He
it
did.
was really good. And he's showing why he's a 5'8". Like he was so good, I thought.
Yeah.
But yeah. Is there anything else you really want to talk about in that game?
Yeah, no, I was just surprised. I didn't
Yeah.
expect the Raiders to lose in that sort of fashion. Like the
did-
2 games I got wrong in my tips this week were the Rabbitohs and the Raiders.
I think the thing that we weren't expecting there was Tommy Turbo to play that good, right? And Schuster as well to play that good. So shout out to Manly.
I think he must have
They're
been
still
called and
listening.
said that this is your game. Like he must have
Yeah.
been told Graham's got that jersey.
Like what he's obviously just gone, I need a good game, and just I don't know, like whatever was holding him back, was it like if it was a mental thing or whatever, he sort of just went, screw it, I'm just going to do my best. If I get hurt, I get hurt. I think that's what he's done. He's gone, because it always seemed like he was holding back, and I reckon he's gone, screw holding back. If I get hurt, I get hurt. I want to play Origin.
Yeah, that must have been it.
And he's in, so good on him. Now before we go to two questions.
How much? You have one?
I have 3, but I can cut to 2.
Yeah. Well, I came up with this question just like
But
as we were talking
before
about
we do
before.
that, we're gonna bloody give Zane his flowers for once again beating me in the tipping. Far out. You finished the round with 10 out of 24, which is pretty bad for your standards, to be honest. And I got 8 out of 24. You got me by 2.
Ooh,
The
so I only
you
just
can
won.
argue that the Tigers one got you over the line, and then that takes your season total to 10 and me to 2. Now I've stitched you up a little bit though, or stitched myself up maybe. I'm going Origin as a different thing. So like we've got our tips this week, tipping the games, and then on Sunday when we drop the Origin, we'll do like an Origin prediction as well.
Yeah,
and that'll
right.
count towards that leaderboard, because I'm trying to keep myself in it. But then you might get all 3 right instead of me and screw me over. But what is your first question?
We were just touching on it before. Who would win a fight, Matt Burden or Nathan Hindmarsh?
Matt Burden.
You reckon?
Yeah, 100%.
There we go. Okay, that's the answer. That's done.
Who
So
do you reckon?
I reckon Hindy.
Yeah, sure.
I reckon he's big enough.
I think Hindy's a front row.
We've seen him throw him at Michael Ennis, and we've seen Burden throw him at Gagai. So
Where's Hindy's from the country, isn't he?
he must. I think
Is
he
he
is.
Dubbo
yeah.
as well?
No, he's from Robertson.
Robertson, where's
Yeah,
that?
it's down near like Mossvale.
Yeah, okay.
Near here, sort of like 40-minute drive.
Oh, okay. So is that? Would you count that as country?
Yeah, that's country.
Just not Central West country.
Yeah, it's like Southern.
Yeah,
Southern
yeah. He was
Highlands.
born in Barrow. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not too far. There you go. Just a few country boys.
Yeah.
Never learn how to punch it. All right.
You going your first one?
I'm going to cut this one, and we're going to go. Who had the best Indigenous jersey on the weekend?
Ooh.
I was going to ask it last week, but we did Origin instead of questions. So
Yeah.
well, even a top
My
3.
top
if you
3
want.
favourites were Bulldogs, Broncos, and for some reason Roosters.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like the Roosters one.
My top 3 was Bulldogs.
Or actually Gold
Broncos.
Coast up there as well.
I thought I did the poll on my TikTok, RIP my TikTok.
Yeah.
Of like the best jerseys, and Sharks finished quite high.
Oh yeah, Sharks was really
pretty
nice
good.
as well.
Yeah, I thought the Roosters had
I didn't
a good
like the
story.
Dragons.
I liked the Dragons. I was about to say the Dragons.
Parramatta's actually was
Parramatta's
really
was
good.
not, actually, I'd almost put them at number 3.
Yeah.
Theirs was nice.
Yeah.
There was a few good ones getting around. I think I wouldn't even say anyone's was bad, to be honest.
Nah.
South was pretty good. Cowboys was pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't like Manly's either. I thought there was just too much
I thought it was
going on.
alright, but yeah. I think that's sort of the beauty of the Indigenous jersey. You can get away with doing too much.
Yeah.
What is your other question?
My third question is the Dolphins and the Dragons the worst televised Channel 9 game for the year?
Dolphins, Dragons.
Yeah.
When was that one?
It's on this Thursday.
Oh, this
You think
week.
it's the worst televised Channel 9 game for the year?
Especially no Ben Hunt.
Yeah.
No Origin players from the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Like no Hammer. What is that? That's Friday night footy.
Thursday, I think.
I think it's Friday.
Oh,
'cause
is it
there's
Friday?
No, you're right. It is Thursday.
I'm going to look at the next.
It could be. That's pretty bad. I think it's easily the worst Thursday game of the year because every other
Actually,
one's
no.
like,
2 weeks' time, we got Titans versus Tigers Thursday night.
not again. Do you remember that 8-6
Yeah,
game?
that was the worst game I've ever watched.
That's like it was so bad that I remember exactly
Round
where
20,
I was watching.
round 20, Knights versus Tigers. So, we got some
There's some
competitors
bad ones
coming.
coming
Yeah.
up. What idiot is putting those games on Thursday night?
Why do the Tigers
All
deserve...
year it's been South Panthers and Eels and Broncos Thursday
Yeah, I
night
know.
games.
Or
And-
just Channel 9 games in general.
And
Like,
then they're just like, oh yeah, here you have.
yeah, like why did the
Origin,
Tigers
Dragons
deserve a
and
Channel
Dolphins.
9 game? They'd have won
Hey,
spoon.
mate, they won 66 to 8.
They did,
against
but
the
this was
Cowboys.
arranged before all that. Like,
this is when they were
like that's why
spooners.
you don't see the Dogs or the Tigers get
Yeah.
Channel 9 games or the Dragons because they
Yeah.
don't deserve them because
Yeah. You gotta
they're
earn the
terrible to
Channel
watch.
9
Yeah,
games.
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
You earn the Channel 9 games.
Yeah.
That's why you see like Penrith and
Yeah.
Penrith and Souths and Parramatta because they're top sides
Yeah.
and people want to watch and play.
Well, I swear not many people actually realise that, eh?
What,
like
that-
the reason behind those
Penrith
teams
never
getting it.
used to have Channel 9
Yeah,
games.
but now it's
Yeah.
because the better teams get it because more people want to watch that
Yeah,
game.
exactly. That's why.
Especially, I think it especially targets the fans that aren't of that team.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you want a game of
Broncos,
football that's entertaining.
It's understandable. They got a deal. They have to have
Yeah.
a Queensland team has to have a Channel 9 game.
Yeah.
But I remember we don't see as much Roosters Channel 9 games anymore.
Yeah.
Like Dogs used to have a lot of
Yeah, we
Friday
used to
night
have
games.
heaps, yeah.
And they only had 4 Channel 9 games this year.
When say the Tigers and the Bulldogs, like if or when they become good, then they'll get the chance.
But I love going to night games. That's the thing. That's why I hope South don't have bad years because they'll start taking the nighttime games away from them. They'll have to play 2 o'clock Sunday, which is the worst time slot to play in. But the poor Warriors, they hardly get any Channel 9 games, do
'cause
they?
the time
I
zones.
think even if they finish high, they're still not going to get too many.
Yeah. Well, I think it's all right for the New Zealand fans because they get Sky
Yeah, exactly.
Sports anyway.
And I think they get free to air over there,
that's what I
don't they?
mean. Yeah. So they're chilling.
But you think it is Dolphins Dragons the worst?
I think so far this year it is. So far.
Actually,
I can't think of any
Knights
so
versus
far.
Tigers in round 2. That was on Channel 9.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, Sunday afternoon.
I mean, out of Thursday night games.
Oh yeah, you reckon it's the worst one?
It's the worst Thursday night game
Yeah.
so far. Probably, I don't know if it's the
Why
worst
would
Channel
the
9.
Dragons get a Thursday night
You never
game?
know. It could be a cracker game. It
could
like
be,
if it's
but-
like the Dragons Roosters game. Like it might be so bad that it's good.
Yeah. Is
could
that all
be.
our questions? Is it?
I've got one more. In reference to the Dragons Roosters game, what is the best final play ever? I've got 2 that come to mind that might help you out a little bit.
I reckon final play. Oh, as in final.
Last play of the game. I've got the 2015 grand final.
Yeah, that's up there.
I've also got
GI's try in the grand final.
that wasn't last. Oh, was that last play?
Yeah, it was.
Like
'Cause
yeah,
they scored and
yeah,
Burge
and then
took
they just
conversion.
took forever to take the kick.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, true. Would that be it? And then
there's
there's
a few I
also
can think of.
2019 Origin. Tedesco in the corner.
Yeah, definitely. I
Obviously,
think
that one on the
2016 ending, that
To the-
final play when
the
the Storm
grand
just kept
final.
throwing it around.
Yeah.
It was 2018 Rabbitohs versus Dragons, where Rattles kicked 3 field goals. That's a very
I got
underrated.
you. I got your answer
I think that's
for
the
you.
most underrated match of all time.
The
That semi-final.
Souths try against the Roosters.
Oh
where
yeah,
Reynolds
that's
scores.
why did I not figure that? That
I
is
can't
the-
believe I didn't think
that
that's
is
gotta
the
be
best play.
That's almost easy.
Dave Taylor as well.
I'd have
down the line.
2015 grand final at number 1. I'd probably go Tedesco Origin number 2 and then that
But
number
you see
3.
that try that same season earlier in the year, the Roosters did
the
the
Roosters
same
did it
thing.
to South, yeah. And that's they're regarded as some of the best games ever as well because of the finish.
Yeah.
Reynolds,
I wouldn't have that Dragons one up
Reynolds.
there though. I don't think it's the best
I
final
thought
play
it
ever.
was pretty hectic
Yeah, it was.
as a last play. Like I like naming all these ones. It's not. I think it's like top 10 though.
Like, if it was a
pretty
finals
good.
game, it would be.
Yeah, that's
but like
the other
I just
thing.
don't think it's going to be
Yeah,
remembered.
when you got grand finals on Origin,
I don't think next year, like, anyone's going to talk about.
Like there's that famous Queensland try,
yeah,
like that Mark Quinn one in the corner
Yeah.
where they're like, "That's not a try."
it's
That's
just
a
one of
miracle.
those ones that no one's going to talk about.
Ben
next
Hunt
year.
wasn't the last play. I don't think. I think there was a play after that. Like I think they kicked off after Ben Hunt's try. I don't know if they did actually.
in Queensland
Last year.
Oh no, they didn't kick off.
So that was the last
Yeah.
play because like that's up there as
Yeah.
much as it pains me to say.
Yeah, it is up
But yeah, there
there.
you go. There's some of the best final plays ever. Surely there's like a YouTube video of the best ever.
Yeah, someone can make one, I guess.
I found a YouTube video.
I saw
yes.
your video about what's the most iconic State of Origin moment of all time. The Tedesco try.
Yeah,
Stuff
yeah,
like that,
yeah.
the streaker.
The streaker.
That is the best
That's
Origin
right, on
moment.
TikTok, I said most
the
iconic
way they
moment.
commentated that as well was just hilarious.
then, like,
Here it
Queensland's-
comes. with
Queensland's
green
score.
shirts all over him.
Yeah.
It's
And he, like, interrupted
Ryan
the
Hoffman
play.
pretends to dive over him.
Bloody Justin Hodges goes up there offering
Then the
to buy him
security
a
guard trips
beer.
over.
Yeah.
Imagine how millions of people watching.
And he was a big bloke as well. And it was like
He trips
game
over in the
3.
in goal.
That was a big moment. That was iconic. That
Oh,
was
that-
iconic.
yeah.
That's one of my most one of my oldest Origin memories. Even.
That streaker.
Like, I remember it so clearly.
And the way the news reported as well the next day was just hilarious.
Like, I remember going to school
They're
the
like,
next day. and
Queensland win
everyone
8 in a
talking
row, but this is the only streak anyone's talking about.
Yeah.
It was just,
Oh, that's good stuff.
and then they're trying to interview him, the security guard's in the way. He's like,
Yeah.
move, move.
Yeah.
Oh, that was just,
And I'm pretty sure they said he'd done it before as well.
Yeah, he done it at
yeah.
Warriors versus Tigers a few
Yeah.
years
What a
before.
legend.
I
Shout out
know.
to him. He was a
Yeah,
big boy
Waddy
too.
Homer would.
Yeah, there you
He
go.
can't go to NRL games anymore. But, you know, I can understand why.
How do they? You know how like streakers obviously they happen quite frequently now.
Yeah,
Not
well,
naked
people don't get
people,
naked. They just
but people running on the
idiots that
field.
run on, yeah.
And they always say like it's life bans or you get banned for 12 months.
You don't.
How do they enforce that?
You don't.
They don't, eh?
It's just a threat.
Like they don't have a photo. Like I think they do. I don't think it's a threat.
If you're under 18, you do it. Because at Shark Park last year, 2 kids ran on. They got caught.
They just get money
They were
fines.
outside of after the game.
Yeah, right.
They just took them out of the ground. Like,
there
they
was
didn't
2 at a
fine them or
Bulldogs.
anything.
I think it was the Good Friday game that were commenting on my TikTok afterwards because I put the video up of them and they said they got. I think they said they got a 12-month ban and maybe like $1,000. Like it wasn't the fines they tell you it is. But like my point is, even if they do ban you, how do they enforce that?
No, they can't. They
Do you
just
know what
look
I mean?
at like your ticket tank. Like
Yeah.
where you
Like,
got.
they'd have to see your name.
No, they look at where you got your tickets from, and I think they block something
Yeah,
on your
okay.
account. But like,
Well,
it's
yeah, they-
easy
they-
to get around.
Yeah, we just get like you can get somebody.
Like, you
else
know,
to
when
buy you a
I ran on
ticket
the
and
field
get in.
in the Seagulls game, I got away with
you
it.
run on the field?
Yeah. Have you not seen that footage?
Are you dead set? Are you talking about the?
Yeah, you know, when I ran
Are you
on,
talking
ran
about
up
the
into the rabbit.
Yeah. I'm like, hang on. I was like, are you talking about that? Or did you actually streak once? Because that's a yarn I've never heard. Yeah, you and your little brother.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you got right in there as well.
I know, and I got out of there.
Carried your little. You ditched your little brother
Yeah.
up the stairs. Oh, that's gold. It literally was you. Eh?
I'm still getting tagged in that video.
Yeah, actually.
Yes.
It was literally you, though. It looked
I know.
exactly like you. Anyway, Zane, let's give a shout out to Picklebet.
Yes, absolutely.
Speaking of Picklebet, let's give a shout out to Picklebet. Now, our multis, once again, we've let the viewers down, but if you are going to have a bet, make sure you do it with Picklebet, especially this weekend. There's only 5 games on. Make sure you get around our multis because less games equals more of a chance that our bets get up.
Exactly.
I don't know what makes that true, but let's just go with it. As I said,
It's a
you can-
short week as well.
yeah. There's
think
less
you just
footy
said
to
that,
watch,
didn't you?
so make the footy more entertaining by betting with Picklebet. Get on our multis and make the game more entertaining, but do it responsibly. Make sure you use code HOTDOG when you sign up. But as I said, do it responsibly. Don't go crazy. You're probably going to lose. Call 1-800-858-858 if you need help. Thursday night, Zane, we were just talking about it. One of the
Game of
worst
the year.
games ever. You and Aitken Cup. Who do you see winning the Dolphins Dragons game?
I've gone with the Dolphins
The Finns?
without confidence.
With
This is a
zero
dra-
confidence.
It is
the
a
Finns.
winnable game for the Dragons, but Hunt's just a huge loss.
Yeah,
but
that's
I'm
what
excited
I'm
to see
like.
how Sullivan and Amon go together in this
Yeah.
game because I think that's the future halves pairing for the Dragons.
Yeah.
You know, Hamaso is like a big loss for the Dolphins, but I think like at Redcliffe, like they'll want to win this game.
Yeah. What do you reckon of a margin?
I reckon 1-12.
Yeah.
And anytime try so it's Jermaine Asako.
I'm with you. I
Actually,
think
no, I'll go Tessie New.
Tessie New?
Yeah.
I'm with you on the Dolphins. I think Ben Hunt's too big of a loss for the Dragons.
And James Sewer's out as well.
They're going to be, and Sewer, and they're going to be crashing from such a high last week. And I think Dolphins, they are missing some Origin players like Hammer, but I think they can...
At KO Stadium.
I think they can cover it.
Up there.
And I'm pretty sure, I think he's named on the bench, but I feel like he might start. Valence Tevale.
Is he?
I think he's being unleashed again, so I'm on him anytime try scorer.
There we go.
He's on the bench, I'm pretty sure, but I think he's going to get bumped into the
whinge
start
about people
again.
ripping up the ground that he puts in hard work.
Yeah.
Towards, yeah,
he's bloody playing on the stadium, on the ground he works on. He'll know, that's what, mate, he's scorer of a handful. He knows the ground perfectly. And then the Willie Tonga Shield on Friday night, Eels Cowboys.
I like the Eels in this game.
Yeah.
No Junior Parlo, no Regan Hill-Gillard. They're the main men for the Eels. Like when it comes to the forwards.
And keep in mind, they've just signed off a Hengawi.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's playing like...
Cowboys, they have low confidence at the moment. Holmes is gone.
In Sydney.
And I was talking about their side before. It's an awful side.
Yeah.
I think Parramatta win 13 plus still. I think Mitch Moses and Dylan Brown carve up. Absolutely carve up
Who
in this game.
Who do you like as a try scorer?
Like Mitch Moses.
Mitch Moses?
Combank and Eels 13 plus, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think, as you said, the Cowboys side's looking pretty bad. They've got such a bad record in Sydney. Their last two Sydney games. It might not be the last two, but two notable Sydney games. They lost 66-18 against...
And 44 to 6
Tigers,
to the
and
Sharks.
44 to 6 to the Sharks. So they clearly struggle in Sydney. And the Eels coming off a massive win. They're not missing that many players, as we said. Bolo's out, but Offengo comes in.
Yeah.
Which it's not like for like, but it's like a pretty handy replacement. I know Matt Dury's come into the side. So, I think Eels get it done 13 plus. And I'm on Simonson.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure... Was Toa right centre?
I think maybe he was, yeah.
I tried to get the same position that Toa was.
Yeah, he was right centre.
Keep it, look at all the players the Cowboys are missing. Holmes, Cotter, Dearden.
Dearden's gone.
Is there anyone else?
I think they're the main ones. I think Tamalolo comes in, no, but
What's
I don't
his,
think
Gilbert?
Yeah, no, Gilbert's at the Dolphins.
Oh, yeah,
now.
he already left.
Yeah.
Silly me. He was at the Cowboys, but he left. They're missing Gilbert this year.
Yeah, they are.
They are. No, actually,
he
are
was
they?
enormous for him last year.
And yeah, Taumalolo's still out.
Yeah, I think he's back this week,
Oh,
isn't
is he?
Might be
Oh,
on extended bench.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
But
He is.
usually when
He's in
they're
the
named there,
reserves.
that means they
You're
play.
right. They need him to play.
Yeah.
Now, this is almost the game I'm most excited for this weekend. The Dennencamp Cup. Warriors Broncos.
Yeah.
What do you reckon happens in this game? It's in New
Reynolds
Zealand.
is back, I know that, but Carrigan, Haas,
Haas.
and Selwyn Cobbo, huge losses for the Broncos.
Yeah.
I reckon over there, this is normally the time where Warriors peak. I reckon Warriors win.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say 13 plus, I'll say 1 to 12, but Warriors always peak this time of the year and they're in the 8.
They love Origin period,
time.
bro.
They're in the 8 before this. I think they can win 1 to 12 and SJ can score a try.
SJ, the in-form half of the competition.
This is his time to peak. Like, all the Origin players who are on the Dyllianz list, this is his
You almost
chance.
couldn't pick a better team to come up against in Origin period.
Exactly.
The
And
Broncos.
they always play the Broncos here in this time as well, the Warriors.
Yeah. But
I think they just do it deliberately because
I
they
think
know.
this year is like the first time in a couple of years where the Broncos are really going to miss their Origin
stars,
players. Like Haas and Carrigan are such huge losses. Like you saw the difference. You saw the difference Carrigan going off for the sin bin against Storm made to the game. And then like Haas has been their best player this year leading the Dally-Am. And like Reynolds does come back. But
and Reece Walsh is out as well.
Walsh
Another
as well.
Big loss,
Walsh, Cobbo, Haas, Carrigan. Like they're missing a lot of players.
And Flegler.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe 3 less penalties, so it might not be a huge loss, but still a big loss.
That's both their front rowers, their fullback.
I think Warriors should win.
And
they should win this game.
I'm also on Warriors. I've gone 1 to 12, but
is the rails starting to come off for the Broncos? They've lost.
Plus.
They could possibly lose 3 in a row now.
Yeah,
but like they haven't beaten those elite sides. Like, they beat Penrith in round 1, which was a good win. But, like, I got worries about him. Like, Reece Walsh, being a gun this year, absolute gun, but he plays like he needs to score. He's trying to score on every single time he gets the ball. He's trying to just
He's a bit of a liability, so he's got errors in him.
And that's what's worrying me about him playing Origin.
Well, as we've said so many times, we'll touch on it Sunday.
Yeah, I just want to talk about it.
I was literally about to say the same thing. Seeing Reece Walsh for fullback for Queensland, that gets me excited as a New South Wales fan. But 7 p.m. Sunday, that's where all the Origin chat happens.
Here.
I'm going Cossey. And I want to
You've been
switch to
backing
Warriors.
Cossey a lot, haven't you?
Oh, yeah, I want to get him, bro. You backed him the other week as well, and I went to go Dallin, and I'm like, nah, give me Cossey. I need him. I would go Warriors 13 plus, but they are missing Egan.
Yeah, they are.
And there was another player that's
Where's
out.
Dylan Walker? Is he back?
He's out as
He's
well.
the one that's out, yeah.
So that's why I'm going to stick with 1 to 12. Now, your boys needing a bounce back win in this Saliva Havili Shield. I don't know if I've pronounced his name
Yeah,
right.
I think,
Can you give me a
It's
pronunciation?
good enough. Saliva Havili.
Yeah, there you
It's
go.
good enough.
What do you reckon?
Look, a few weeks ago, I was saying this will probably be the game we lose. Like, we're going to miss a lot of players, but we still got a pretty strong side here.
Yeah.
I will not lie. Like,
So you're missing Trell, Murray, Arrow?
Yes, that's it.
And
that's just
it.
the 3 outs.
Shout out to Gramble.
The Raiders are missing Elliott Whitehead and Hudson Young,
Yeah.
which are huge losses for him. But I'll look at the sides. Like, I still like Souths in this game.
So you're going to go South?
So, in out is Latrell. Blake Tuff goes to fullback, which isn't a surprise. Damien Cook's named at number 9 still.
Yeah. Because, he got snubbed.
Cody Walker's captain. Campbell Graham has been named.
Yeah, true. Because
Liam Knight goes to lock for Cameron Murray.
and Graham will play.
Shaq Mitt is back.
Shaq Mitt, brother.
Yep. And then Tallis Duncan is on.
So Mitchell's playing. There you go. You're not even missing.
Tallis Duncan's been named on debut with. In the reserves, we've got.
What position's Tallis Duncan?
He's 15.
What position is he though?
He's like a lock
Okay.
edge, plays anywhere like that. But the other big thing that a lot of people haven't noticed, Keon Kolomatangi is named at 21 in extended bench. So usually when they're named there, it means they'll play. They'll be a last minute in.
Yeah.
So I believe Kolomatangi.
That just means he's got to pass fitness test.
I look at this Souths team, compare it to the Raiders. I still like all the South players here, except for the forwards.
It is a South home game as well.
I'm gonna stay low. I'm gonna back Souths 1 to 12, and I think he's probably Devo. He didn't make it. I think Cook's gonna have a blinder, so he's my anytime try scorer.
I've gone
Cook.
South 13 plus.
You still think they win like that?
I'm running my eyes over the side. They're not missing
And
that
I think
many
Cody
players.
Walker, this is his time to take this side on.
They're missing Trell.
Huge loss. Though.
Obviously Murray
So
and
is
that
Murray.
big loss through the middle, but I just feel like they're not missing enough.
And still no Tom
Graham's
Burgess.
still in there.
He's someone
Cook's
we needed
in there.
last week.
I feel like they can win, and especially off that big loss, I think they can put on some points, especially with the Raiders missing their second rowers.
Yeah.
And I've gone sort of the way you're thinking with a try scorer, but I've gone the other one.
Campbell Graham.
Yeah. And I'm actually making this my multi of the week.
Not this game.
Yep, but I'm going to add a little bit of chicken salt in there for the punter at home. I'm going to go a Graham double.
You are.
Graham in my multi of the week.
Right.
South's 13 plus. Campbell Graham 2 or more tries.
There we go.
That's going to be my multi of the week. Now the Sunday game, Zane, one of rugby league's underrated rivalries, in my opinion, Knights Manly, the Jamie Burra Bowl. Obviously, they met in the 97 grand final, the Knights and Manly. Who do you see winning this one? This is in Newcastle.
Realistically, you'd tip Manly in this game based on common sense, but I think the Knights win. Travojevic, DCE, huge outs. Probably going to affect their club sides the most, those two being out. And I think, Ponga back at fullback, I think there's going to be a real big crowd at this game. I think Knights win 13 plus.
And I feel like Knights would be cheering as well because I think they would have expected to be missing Gagai.
I'm going to go.
They would have been
they would
expecting
have
to
been
miss
expecting.
Ponga.
Yeah, I'm going to go Knights 13 plus, and I'll say Dom Young get a try here.
I'm also on the Knights for basically all the same. I think we've got all the same tips this week, Zane.
Yeah,
there you go.
right.
But for the same reasons though, Manly, they're missing some real key players. The Knights, they've been in games. They've got such a good home record as well this year. And they just get in games and they just grind them out. So I'm going 1 to 12. And I'm going Ponga. He's back at fullback.
You want him to score?
Snubbed from Origin. I'm going him to score a try. Now
What are the odds on him getting knocked out though?
He's at fullback, so surely not as high as they were on the weekend. But he has been getting knocked out.
Yeah.
What do you want to make your multi of the week?
I'd like to choose the Warriors game.
The Warriors game?
Yeah,
I don't
SJ.
mind. So 1 to 12, Warriors 1 to 12 and SJ anytime?
Yeah.
Nice. I was worried you were going to go the Rabbits game and I was like...
Yeah, I know. You're already doing it.
I'm trying to
I
think...
feel like yours is a safer one to go with, by the way.
Yeah.
Campbell Graham to get a double.
I was like... Do you want to do... For our try scorer multi, do you want to do...
Origin snubs.
Origin snubs,
Yeah,
you
so
go...
Ponga, Cook, Graham,
Gagai.
yeah.
Yeah, that was...
Is
Yeah.
there anyone else that we could think of?
I think we're allowed max 4.
Okay,
If you want,
that'll
but
do.
if you want to try and spread them across different games, because we've got 2 in each game. But yeah, that's what I was
I
thinking.
think who else is there that's...
There was someone.
Oh, Olakawatu.
Olakawatu, Capewell.
Capewell, yeah.
Do you want to go Olakawatu? So you reckon Ponga...
I reckon Ponga.
Let's go Gagai, because I've got Ponga in my multi.
Yeah, we'll go Gagai, Olakawatu. I reckon Cook.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? Capewell. Yeah, we'll just do one from each. We'll do one from each of those games.
Yeah, all right.
So, Gagai, Olakawatu.
Well, Gagai and Olakawatu are in the same game, but they're different teams.
Exactly.
And I can't think... Is there anyone like in the Eels? Not really. Cowboys... Like Nanai? Is he? I don't think he's back yet, though.
Yeah, it might not be. No, I wouldn't count him as a snub because
Dolphins,
he hasn't been
Dragons.
claimed. So
yeah, I don't think there is anyone else. So we got our try scorer a multi Gagai. There's going to be value in
the Origin snubs.
Gagai, there's going to be value.
Olakawatu, Damien Cook.
You want Cook or Graham?
I reckon Cook.
Yeah,
I feel like he'd be more snubbed than Graham. Graham has.
Yeah, that's a fair call. That's a fair call. And Capewell,
yeah.
So yeah, Gagai,
Who doesn't surprise me that
Cook
he's out. To be honest, that he wasn't picked.
I've
never really rated him, to be honest.
You'll hear about it on Sunday, but I think it's one of the biggest snubbings.
You reckon? Like, I know his team's right up there, but I've just never really rated him. Even when he was at Penrith, I was
we'll talk about it in the preview.
Like, I feel like just Penrith made him look a lot better than what he was.
That's fair. Before we wrap up, just another shout out to Picklebet. Make sure you use code HOTDOG if you want to get on any of those bets or get on any other bet. Origin's around the corner as well, and Picklebet is the home of Origin. That's not actually, but I'm going to use that as a tagline. Always gamble responsibly, Zane. Good luck this weekend to your South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Yeah. No game for you this week either.
No game. Yeah. 2 points, babe. We're going to beat the bye. I'm confident.
Yeah.
Put your house on the Doggies this weekend to beat the bye. What do you reckon?
Yeah, they should. They should.
2 points easy.
Yeah. Let's trot.
Let's trot, baby.